Hi there, it's Kaylee from Crochet Unraveled, and today I wanted to show you how to crochet with straight edges when you're doing rows of double crochet. So I know a lot of times beginners have a hard time figuring out which is the last stitch of a row, and for me personally, when I was learning how to crochet, I would do an extra stitch at the end of the row, and that would make my project go out this way. And some people aren't sure, so they do one fewer stitch and then it goes back this way. So I want to show you how to not only figure out which is the first and the last stitch of each row, but how to do that turning chain when you are starting a new row. So what I have here is just I crocheted a chain. I believe I chained 12, then I skipped 2. And I just did double crochet stitch going back in the other direction. So I'm going to start here. So what I like to do at the end of a row is just kind of pull it taut a little bit, because I find that that helps to keep my edges nice and straight. And for double crochet, for this turning chain, we're going to chain 2. Some patterns ask you to chain 3 at this point, and I've found that that really creates kind of a loop on the side of your project and makes it look just wonky and uneven. So we want to avoid that. So once you've chained 2, go ahead and flip your work back this direction, and you're going to do your first double crochet stitch in the very first stitch right below your chain 2 turning chain. Make sure that you are not crocheting into that first chain of your turning chain, because I know it can kind of look similar to the top of your stitches, the front and back loop there. It does almost look like you could put your hook through there and do a stitch, but I want you to keep track of your 2 chains there, and then just go ahead and do your first stitch in that first stitch that's below. All right. And then from there, all you're going to do is crochet straight across, and I'll show you how to make sure that you are crocheting in the correct amount of stitches and that you aren't going too far or not far enough, which I know some people sometimes accidentally do, especially when you are learning. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here, and I want to show you how to know what the last stitch in your row is. So I want you to look at what you have here. You can see this is a double crochet stitch, this is a double crochet stitch, this is 2, and so is this one. But here, this is your turning chain. And you can tell it is not a double crochet just because it has a different texture here. So I want you to make sure that you're not crocheting into this turning chain. I used to make that mistake a lot, but instead you just need to crochet into the last double crochet. And a good way to also tell if you aren't quite sure, turn your work this way, and you should see the front and the back loop, and they'll be on the top of your work. There's nothing that you need to be crocheting into on the side over here. So let's just go ahead and do that last double crochet stitch. And you can tell already that these edges are going to be going zoop, straight up, just like this. So if you'll remember, I like to just pull this a little bit taut. Helps to kind of keep things nice and straight, and then chain 2 kind of tightly. It's okay to crochet tight when you aren't going to be crocheting into that stitch ever again. So the turning chains we aren't going to be crocheting in again. So again, we are going to just do our first stitch in this first double crochet. So you can see your front and back loop there, and that's exactly where you're going into. So I believe that's all I have for you today. I do have another tutorial coming out soon which teaches you how to crochet double crochet with really smooth edges. So you can see that these are straight, they're up and down, it's not going in and out or wonky any direction, but these edges are really nice and smooth, and that's the difference. So if you want to learn how to do that, make sure you keep an eye out for that tutorial. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And also, if you aren't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do that now. It really helps me out, and it helps to create a really nice and fun crocheting community here on YouTube. Other than that, if you haven't already headed to my website, crochetunraveled.com, feel free to do so, and when you sign up for my email list, you'll get lots of free, fun crochet-related goodies that are great for beginners and beyond in your inbox. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy crocheting!